Are you struggling to sign clients for your agency? If so, in this video, I want to go over 10 reasons why you're having trouble signing clients. So the first one's going to be a crappy offer. So if your offer is no good, nobody's going to be interested. So if you're reaching out to people saying, I can help you with your logo, it's like, yeah, that's nice, but how is that going to correlate into me getting more clients? So people just aren't going to bother even responding to you. So the first thing is you have to nail down a solid offer. And you can have the best setters in the game, but if your offer is crappy, nobody's going to be interested and they're not going to be able to book any appointments for you. So the second thing is you have a poor work ethic and you're not setting enough outreach. So what I mean by that is if you only want to work 4 hours a day or you're only putting in 4 hours a day and you think you're going to get 10K a month, I'm sorry, but that's just not possible. It's going to take a lot of hard work and consistent outreach. So if you're reaching out to people inconsistently, meaning like, maybe for 3 days you go hard and you're sending a couple hundred messages a day, and then all of a sudden you take 4 days off and then get back to work for another 2 days and take a day off, you're going to have inconsistent leads, and that's going to lead to inconsistent appointments. Now, the next point I want to touch on is if you're only sending 100 outreaches a day, it's simply just not enough because this is a numbers game. And you have people that are out there that are literally sending 1,000 messages a day. So, in my eyes, that's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. You're just not going to win. So, number three is you have unrealistic expectations. So, if you're expecting to assign a client in 30 days with no experience, that's just a pipe dream. And a lot of people are, listening to these gurus online and they're seeing these case studies of, oh, so and so went from 0 to 17K in 30 days. And it's like, I'm not saying that that's a lie, but you don't know that person's background. Maybe he's super good at sales. He's been in this space for years and years, and he just started a new agency. So you have to have realistic expectations and stop listening to these gurus. Not everybody's situation is the same. And let's face it, when it comes to marketing, I've learned that the truth is stretched quite a bit. So if you're just taking everything they say as, oh, he couldn't be lying, it's like you're going to find out that you're going to be disappointed. And if you want a client in 30 days, prepare to do 10 times more work than anybody else. So if everyone around you is sending 100 messages a day, then you might want to consider trying to figure out, well, how do I send 1,000 messages a day? Because at the end of the day, your goal is to get your first client as fast as possible. Yeah, you can do the average just like everyone else, but prepare for average results. So the next thing is you're not tracking your metrics. And since you don't track your metrics, you won't know what's working and what's not. And then all of a sudden, you're going to start making decisions based on your emotions and not the data. So you might be only getting maybe, let's say, an appointment every few days, whereas you think you should be getting, 3 appointments a day, and that's your goal, which is awesome to have. But if you're not tracking the data, and all of a sudden, a day or two goes by and you're not getting any appointments, you figure, oh, well, it's my offer. I got to change my offer. Or maybe, you see a video on YouTube and this guy talks about like, oh yeah, I'm smashing him with cold email, and you're doing cold DMs on Instagram. All of a sudden you think, oh, well, I need to start doing cold email. And it's like, but you don't even know what you were doing. Maybe what you were doing was working and you just need to give it more time. So imagine you were a farmer and you went out and planted your cornfield, and all of a sudden you hadn't had any rain in maybe a week, and your crops hadn't popped up as fast as you wanted to. You wouldn't say, "Oh, well, it's not working," and go till under your field and start all over again. So the next thing is lack of follow up. So if you figure since they don't respond or get back to you that they're not interested, you're completely wrong. You're reaching out to business owners, and these people are busy running their business. They're not always just checking their phone and being on Instagram or whatever it may be. So you have to take that into account, and you have to reach out, or not reach out, sorry. You have to follow up consistently. So some business owners, they do this on purpose because they want to see how serious you are before they commit. I've actually been told this by a business owner one time, and he said, "I don't do any business with anybody that hasn't followed up with me at least 3 times." And once he told me that, I was like, "Oh, okay." So this isn't just a fact of, people don't want to get back to you. Some people want to see, like, are you even real about what you're doing? Are you just trying something out and going to be here gone tomorrow type thing? And I also want to mention the money's in the follow up. So you basically follow up till they buy, die, or say no. And I learned this from a guy that I actually watch online. His name's Rob Quinn, and he's killing it in the sales game. And he basically says, like, you keep following up until, like I said, they buy, die, or say no. And if you don't want to do that, then maybe this whole agency space isn't for you. So the next thing is thinking you can charge a retainer with no credibility. So I'm in a few online groups or communities, I should say, and I saw this one guy post recently saying that he wasn't able to close the sales call and that he had all these different types of objections. And I just messaged back saying, like, well, are you trying to charge a retainer? And then he said, yeah, I am. And I said, oh, okay, cool. I was like, well, do you have like any case studies or anything you could have showed the guy? And he's like, no. He's like, I'm just starting. And I said, well, that's probably your problem right there. So if someone pays you a retainer and you don't deliver, how are you any different than any other scammer on the internet? Just because you promise, oh yeah, I'm going to get you X amount of appointments in 30 days. If someone just flip the script for a minute, if you gave someone $1,000 of your hard earned money and all of a sudden whatever they told you they didn't deliver on, would you accept, oh, sorry, it didn't work out as a good enough explanation? Probably not. You'd be trying to figure out, man, like, I almost want to, like, obviously not going to sue someone for $1,000, but you'd be pissed. You'd be thinking, like, how do I get this guy back? So, same thing for them. Like, they're not going to just invest in you when you have no results to show them, no case studies, no video testimonials. So, how could you expect they're just going to pull out their hard earned money and pay you? So what I suggest is that you work for free until you have some results or do a rev share deal. And a lot of you are probably thinking, well, I'm not working for free. It's like, well, why wouldn't you work for free? Because right now you have no clients. And if you keep doing what you're doing, that's insanity. So if you're trying to charge people these high retainers and you have no results, then you might be going a long time without signing a client. So number 7 is niche hopping and switching your outreach methods every couple of months. So I kind of touched on this earlier. So I just want to say that there is no easy niche. So if you're thinking like, oh, what's the best niche for beginners? There is none. They all take time to figure out. And if you're not even spending the time to do market research to really figure out what they want, it's going to take you even longer. So just because you see someone getting results with cold email, it doesn't mean you stop sending DMs and start jumping to cold calling or cold email, etc. You just have to put in the time, have the patience, track your metrics, and let the data tell you what's working and what's not working. So the next thing is limit industry knowledge. So if you don't take the time to do market research, so your offer and message, if you don't take the time to do market research, your offer and messaging is going to be generic, and it's going to be like everyone else's that's in their inbox talking about, oh, we can get you qualified sales appointments. It's like, well, I would sure hope they're qualified if I'm paying you. So without understanding your niche's wants, needs, and desires, or their lingo, they can easily tell that you're just somebody that's just trying something and you don't really know anything about their industry. So I would actually implore you to take the time, use ChatGPT, because now it's with AI, it's even simpler than ever. Actually spend the time, spend 30 minutes and just ask ChatGPT, tell it your situation, what you're trying to do, who you're trying to target. Ask about, what do these people want? What's their needs? What keeps them up at night when it comes to whatever you're trying to sell them? And use that information and put that into your messaging. That's going to help your messaging resonate a lot more than if you just play this monkey see, monkey do stuff and just find a script on YouTube and think you're just going to blast that out and get results. So the next thing is underpricing your services. So if someone said they'll sell you a brand new iPhone 15 for 300 bucks, what would you think? You would probably think like, is this phone stolen? Is it going to work? Have you switched out all the parts inside of it or something? Like, what's wrong with the phone if it's only 300 bucks? So quit telling prospects that you're going to work for free in your messaging. Even if you are going to work for free, don't tell them that, oh, this I'm going to do it for free. It makes you look desperate. And instead of like facing them eye to eye, it looks like you're down on your hands and knees pleading like, please let me work for you for free. It's like, I don't need some guy coming around and just trying stuff with my business. So if you offer something valuable to your niche, they'll be happy to pay you. Even if you're a beginner, they might not pay you, $1,000 to start off, but if they're convinced on what you're saying you can do, for sure they're going to give you something. And I just want to add this one part here. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and a guy said, you know what? It only costs $10 to build an iPhone, but Apple sells them for almost $2,000. So just let that sink in. So the last point I want to touch on is you're playing monkey see, monkey do. So you can't just watch YouTube videos and think, well, this guy's killing it in whatever space. We'll just say, for example, you watch Joel Kaplan, and he has this new video on the best outreach script for 2025. How many people do you think have watched that video and they're going to do the same thing? They're just going to grab that script, plug a few things in, and they're just going to think, oh, it's going to start raining appointments. Honestly, you just can't do that and think that's going to work. Like, how do you think just going online, copying someone else's stuff and putting it out there as your own is going to make you rich? So those are the top 10 reasons why I believe you're not signing any clients for your marketing agency. And if you think this was helpful, please consider subscribing and drop a like, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.